As you know, my videos are usually in Polish. I'm living in Scotland and speak English on a day-to-day basis. Maybe I'm too lazy, or maybe that is because my English is a bit like my welding, solid enough but not as tidy as it could be. This virus is a great opportunity to try a video in English, so this time I will give you what you want, some trusty VW buses. Recently I visited some great friends in Poland, amazing people with lots of interesting vehicles. You can see JJ's mint Trabant in the first two Żukowe Voyage episodes, but he actually owns many more amazing vehicles, as well as two VW T3 or 225s to those of you in the UK. I had two Volkswagens in the past and it's perhaps controversial to say, but I'm not really a massive fan of this make. For me the scene makes this brand overvalued, a bit like fanboys of Apple buying only Apple products when the other phones are available for 2 times less. But commercial vehicles do have their own rules, and even random cars with age pick up some natural patina and take on some character. Apart from jelly mold Opels and Mazdas, they're just getting rust and letting the water in. So in this short episode we can try to answer the question, which is better, vintage bus for £1,000? As you can expect, I will compare mostly with the mighty Zuk, so let's go for a ride. Sorry for the video quality, this time was a spur of moment decision to film and it's recorded by phone. We went for a drive during a cold winter morning. These vans are last generation of the rear engine T3. We all know the problems that come from this design decision. A high floor in the boot that's not level, difficult access to the engine from, and problems with overheating. But sure, they also have much more to offer from flat load area vans. For some reason people like them, right? JJ also go traveling and camping a lot, so he bought a transporter with multi-van interior, turned into basic camper van, which is enough for this young couple. The red one isn't one of the rare well-designed versions, but it's a tidy, pretty much stock example with homemade side windows and a bed. So, what were my expectations? Well, when he offered me this instead of driving his lovely Trabant, I was like, why are you doing this to me? And I was pretty skeptical. But then I thought, it will be something new and a kind of the challenge to see how it drives compared to well-known old Zuk, especially as the Zuk stayed pretty much the same for most of its production life, while VW developed 4 generations in the same time period, so my 1998 Zuk should be compared to the T4 directly. Crazy. The van has been converted to a 1.9 TD engine after the old unit's failure, and I must admit this is a huge benefit and it runs really sweet for a diesel. Sitting at the back on the sofa isn't that bad. I mean, you can almost talk normally and the vibrations won't kill you. It was a cold day in February, but even with engine only recently started, the heating was amazing. It has enough performance and suspension and is pretty much like being a Zuk. It glides over the bumps. I must admit, the handling is better and it's not that sensitive for being blown by the wind from one side to another. Common opinion is this van has a good turning circle, and that's a fact, much better than even some smaller cars. Obviously it has some rust here and there, a few dents and scars, but it's a couple of thousand Polish zlotys for the vehicle, and for that money it's pretty decent. This was just as we had to stop to top up the coolant in this quirky way, and then headed to the Polish coast. So being completely honest, I have to admit I can use this for a daily, so long as I don't need to load the fridge or dishwasher into it. Of course, it depends on the particular example, because some repairs are always essential. Speaking about the devil, here is another one. A high roof exposed 1.6 non-turbo diesel as a van for a family removal, and yeah, this one has seen better days, but overall it's in fully working order. The mileage is enormous, the side panels are rotten, but look at the high top, can give you lots of options for converting to. Obviously it's terribly slow, it rattles and smokes. That's a pretty much 1980s build quality and standard for those days. We didn't drive this one, but JJ said it has totally different character than his little camper, and from some reason he likes to drive this one more. So what are his plans for them? He's owned them for a little while now, but now he doesn't really know what to do. I mean, even being the same model, they drive totally different. The red one is comfy and normal, the yellow one is huge, knackered, but that doesn't affect it at all and has never let him down. They just keep going. So what's my opinion? I can see now why people like them if they try one, but apart from their distinct look, they don't offer much more than an average van. They are desired because they are famous. Comparing standard version from that era, at the end of the day, it's down to personal preferences as to which one you might buy. If you get a good one, it can be your friend. If you buy a lemon, it will only make you grey haired. Sounds very familiar. The biggest problem I have with them is the badge. If you don't know you are in Volkswagen, the impressions are really okay, but it could just as easily be a bark as Nyssa or Skoda 1203, and this looks way more original. So what to buy if you saved 1000 British pounds and want to start your adventure with Vanlife in a painless way? My answer is Fiat Ducato Mark II in X-Police 2.8 IDTD version. It's a killer on the road, great on money, and while it maybe eats gearboxes from time to time and doesn't offer you any cup holders, but the parts are everywhere. You can even buy the parts in a grocery shop. Otherwise, if you want to stand out from the crowd, be unique and go for Zuks, or be even more creative and find something even more crazy. Thanks again JJ for an awesome day. Cheers!
Fiat Ducato, resistente a tutto. Ampio spazio per qualsiasi carico, sponde solide e all'occorrenza ribaltabili. 45 versioni, benzina, diesel, turbodiesel. Dal Ducato Panorama, 8 poltrone di prima classe reclinabili, all'agile Ducato 10 quintali, al 14 gran volume. Vano di carico utilizzabile in lungo, in largo e a tutta altezza. Porte scorrevoli per un facile carico e scarico. Ducato riposante anche nei lunghi viaggi. Un consiglio: se volete un Ducato, andate dal concessionario Fiat. È più semplice.